Am I the a-hole for kicking my stepson out after he tried stealing my necklace while I was asleep? My stepson, 19, got kicked out of his mother's house after stealing and selling a very expensive item from her husband. He was going from a friend's house to another until my husband brought him in. I wasn't thrilled to have him in the apartment given his reputation, but he was almost homeless and needed help, so I agreed to let him stay with us till we worked something out with his mom. Truth be told, he's pretty respectful. Helped with chores, washed ours and the neighbors' cars for cash, so I thought he had changed. But something strange started happening. My 3K necklace disappeared once, and I accidentally found it in the bathroom cabinet. Then it disappeared again and I was lucky to find it, but it was somehow hidden under the couch when I found it. I started realizing that my stepson was attempting to steal the necklace, but I kept finding it when he'd hid it. So I decided to wear it to keep it safe. Monday evening, I was napping in my bedroom while my husband was at work. I fell into deep sleep, then suddenly got waken up by feeling someone's fingers on the back of my neck. I found my stepson trying to open my necklace's clasp. I was lying on one side and I turned and saw him. I started panicking and he took some steps back, telling me to calm down. I sat up and yelled, asking what he was doing, and he started stuttering. I figured he was trying to steal the necklace from me. I yelled at him to get out, then called my husband crying. My husband got home and tried to work this situation out by making his son apologize, but I said I won't have him here any longer. I don't feel safe anymore after he tried to snatch my necklace while I was sleeping. And this wasn't even the first time he tried to steal the necklace. My husband said his son had nowhere to go and it'd be cruel to kick him out, but I demanded that he leave. I went to a friend's house, and my husband got back and picked a fight with me about how I'm putting him in a position to choose between his son and me. He kept convincing me to let him return and promised to make him swear he won't do it, but I refused. I'm honestly worried and cannot be sleeping with both eyes closed with a son in the house. Am I justified in my action? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. 3 possible scenarios. 1. He's stealing and selling things to pay for his secret habit. 2. He's stealing and hiding your necklace to mess with you and make you feel crazy. 3. He has a touch of kleptomania and if so, needs to get some help. No matter what, he should not be allowed back in your house. He has shown an alarming willingness to steal your things. Right off your neck, no less. I would go with the latter. He ain't acting in a logical way. If he were stealing to finance a secret addiction, he wouldn't risk being this obvious. I would tell the dad to take the kid for a mental evaluation, as this is really odd. With kleptomania, would he keep trying to steal the same thing, and always an expensive thing? Because that seemed to have been the issue previously. He stole an expensive item from his step-parent. So I sort of wonder if it's the only expensive thing in the house or the only expensive thing the step-parent owns. But yeah, I agree. It's worth the parents taking the kid for a mental health evaluation, and definitely the kid not living in their home. Not stay home. Not stay home. He is 19 and definitely old enough to know what he is doing. If he gets kicked out, it's on him. There's a reason his own mom doesn't even want him there. He is doing this to himself. I can't imagine the audacity he has to try and steal it while you are sleeping. That is also creepy and I wouldn't feel safe in my own house. Oh, absolutely not stay home. That's really scary how boundaries have already expanded to almost assaulting you in your sleep. You are not safe, your stuff is not safe. This is not a situation to compromise at all. You would have valid reason to kick him out after the first time your necklace went missing. If this kid has a key to your house, look into getting a new lock, and maybe an additional one for your bedroom. Increasing criminal behavior doesn't suddenly stop. Increasing is the key word here. He's touching people in their sleep already. Even if it's just to steal, that is terrifying. But I can't imagine it won't continue escalating if he keeps being enabled. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter to butt out of my personal life and asking her to stay with her mom? So, me, 35 male, and my ex-wife, Holly, 35 female, have a 16-year-old daughter named Shay. Me and Holly started dating when we were 14 and divorced 1.5 years ago. The reason was she felt like she hasn't experienced dating since we got together so young, and she was getting curious but didn't want to step out on me. So I agreed not to hold her back, and we divorced. We immediately got Shay into therapy and she handled the whole thing really well, at first. Well, I started to date. It was weird but kinda exciting. Shay was happy for me and encouraged me to go on dates. Well, everything changed. Me and Holly spent the night together 8 months ago and my daughter found us the next morning. She was giddy, but we explained to her that we weren't getting back together, that we just have a very strong bond and are best friends, but she shouldn't have found out. Ever since, Shay's been a nightmare. I was dating a teacher from her school and she tried to sabotage it. Shay would show up on our dates. We track each other's location. She would constantly bring up her mom in front of the girl I was dating. She was rude to her. Eventually, we split because she didn't want the drama. The past 8 months, Shay had been sending me pictures of her and her mom in workout classes. She keeps telling me about Holly's new fitness. Holly has lost weight and she looks freaking incredible. But I kept telling her that me and her mom are better apart right now. About 4 months ago, Holly calls me. She admitted to drinking a bottle of wine and saying some stuff to Shay. She told her the reason we split up, and that she regretted it and wanted the family back together, and that she was done dating because she hated it. I sat down Shay and explained to her again my stance, that I absolutely love her and her mom, and that there was definitely a possibility of reconciliation down the line, but at this point I was having fun. So I started to see Shay's friend's mom around this time. We kept it from the girls until we thought it was real. Shay freaked out. She cut off her friend, and she sent my girlfriend a lengthy Facebook message that basically said she was wasting her time, that I was in love with my ex. I talked to Shay about how inappropriate that was, and we got her back into therapy. So last week, my girlfriend was trying to get something from my house. I was at home, but Shay was. My girlfriend knocked on the door, but Shay saw who it was and wouldn't open the door. I called her and told her to open it, and she refused. I had to run home from work to let my girlfriend in. I was furious with Shay. I basically told her that she needed to butt out of my personal life, and that maybe it would be best if she stayed at her mom's. We don't have a formal custody agreement, for a while, until she could accept that I was dating. She left and I called Holly, but Holly thinks I'm being an a-hole. Am I? You and the ex are both a-holes for doing 10 months of therapy for a one-night stand. Seriously, everyone sucks here and I feel bad for the daughter. This is such a chaotic environment for her. Can you not date someone who has a close proximity to your daughter? You dated a teacher at her school and her friend's mom. Really? You and your wife basically undid everything therapy-wise, but now you're basically butting into your kid's personal life. Your daughter's actions aren't great, but she's confused and her mental health is definitely all over the place. Maybe you need to focus on that and not dating people so close to her own life. You're the a-hole. And teachers. OMG, parents that date teachers are so shameless. You're the a-hole. You are absolutely, without a doubt, 100% the a-hole. So you all uproot this girl's entire family life. And a year and a half later, she's expected to see you dating and being serious with her friend's mother? And when she has a warranted reaction, you tell her to leave. You're choosing a few months old relationship over your daughter. Absolutely pathetic. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not equally splitting my deceased mother's fabric in quilts I made for my siblings? I'm male 39, am the youngest of 6 children. I was a surprise kid late in my parents' life, and I was a young teen when my mom started to get antsy and want to get out of the house more. She started taking hobby classes. I got dragged along to each and every one. Because of this, I have a wide array of very weird crafting knowledges. Crochet, knitting, basket weaving, quilting, cake decoration, oil painting. While I'm not a master of any of them, I'm fairly competent. After my mother died, I started using her old crafting supplies to make gifts for my siblings out of her things. Everyone got an afghan, scarf, egg basket, etc. It was my way of making sure mom was still there every year. The quilts are where things get a little hinky. I made 3 quilt tops before I ran out of fabric. There wasn't enough to make them all, and I didn't realize it until I was too deep into the project. I ran out and grabbed some fabric. I did my best to get a really broad variety of scraps to keep it from being obvious. I did a few adjustments, split 2 of the existing quilt tops and added on more using the new scraps. I wanted everyone to have at least some of Mom's fabric in their quilt. When I wrapped them, I didn't bother to put names on them. Everyone just grabbed a package and were delighted to have a nice quilt. It was the last of my mother's on crafting projects, and I was glad to be finished with them all. I ended up mentioning to my sister over dinner last week that only one of the quilts was entirely Mom's fabric, because I had run out of fabric. She immediately asked me which one, and I said I wasn't sure who had gotten it. I didn't at the time. I'd explained again that there wasn't enough fabric to go around. She starts to get annoyed, wanting to know why I didn't make sure to give the one that was entirely Mom's fabric to her, since she was the oldest. You can see where this is going. This snowballed. My sister called my other siblings to solve the mystery, and now siblings are all texting and posting pictures of their quilts, trying to figure out who got the real one and who were fakes. I now know, thanks to all the pictures, exactly which one is made entirely of her fabric, but I'm plain stupid. You can't have that much fabric laying in your lap for months without recognizing it. I've gotten more than a few nasty messages about it from the peanut gallery, and all my siblings' friends seem to think that it's insanely rude that I would pull a trick like this. I realize now that I probably should have just broken down all 3 of the quilt tops to spread things around. But God, it was so miserable rushing for months to get them done, only to have to split 2 of them just to expand them back out again. So, am I the a-hole for not giving my siblings an equal share of Mom's fabric in their Christmas quilts? At this point, I feel like I should have just made 3 quilts and explained the problem and let them fight about it. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Honestly, if anyone deserved the one that was 100% her fabric, it is you. You were the one who went to the hobby classes with her. You were the one to make sure everyone got something made from her hobby stuff, and you were the one who made everything. It is messed up that they are so ungrateful. Petty says to take back all the quilts and keep them for yourself. Opie's siblings sound so lame, petty, and ungrateful. This is such a sad thing to obsess and fight over. Each quilt has a piece of their mother's fabric, but sadly no good deed goes unpunished. The sister who started this mess sounds like a selfish busybody, since she was okay with the fabric being spread out but thought she was entitled to the full fabric quilt. At least Opie now knows who not to share her secrets with. 100% ungrateful. Personally, mostly because I'm petty, I would ask for all the quilts back so that I could figure out which one is missing the fabric. Then tell the siblings to swivel. Due to their ungrateful, spoilt reactions, they aren't getting the quilts back. Treat them like the children they are acting like. If you kids can't decide and share, then I'll take them away. Now you don't have to argue. If you want them back, then you have to make me a quilt of the same quality to see how much time and effort I had to put in to make these gifts for you. You're absolutely not the a-hole, but here's your mistake. I ended up mentioning to my sister over dinner last week that only one of the quilts was entirely Mom's fabric. Loose lips sink ships. Cliché but true. There was no reason to bring up the fact that only one quilt had all of Mom's fabric. No one had noticed, so you shouldn't have said anything. Did you think your sister was going to go, "Oh, cool," and leave it at that? I don't even know your siblings, and I could have told you this was going to get real petty, real fast. No good deed goes unpunished, Opie. But it's not on you to patch this up, though. They'll get over it, eventually. Furthermore, if they want to play the who deserves to get the most of Mom's fabric game, isn't it obvious? Hint, none of them. That was definitely my mistake, yeah. The conversation had turned to what my plans were for next Christmas since all of the crafting supplies had been used up. I was going to make and decorate a cake for everyone. Between running low and whatnot, yeah, I shouldn't have said a thing. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole that I won't rent to my nephew? I bought a home when I was out of college. It's a 3-bedroom home, and for the last 20 years, I have rented rooms to young professionals and interns near a tech hub. My nephew Jack is in his 30s and bounced around from job to job. My mother and my sister, his mother, want me to rent it to him at a discount because he wants to move the area. I already have 2 tenants, both around 22, and both are women. Jack has had issues with dating and with women. Reddit would put him as a neckbeard, so I don't want him to rent from me or be around my other tenants. Jack argues about the most ridiculous things. He has the mentality of a 15-year-old boy and would not even fit in with the atmosphere of the house. So I don't want him there. He was also evicted from his last place. At his credit is, I told mom and sister this and they have yelled at me about how his family. And maybe this time he will find a place where he fits in. I put my foot down and said no. I will rent out the vacant room to someone else. My whole family's against me now. I don't want Jack living in my house because I know he's going to be an issue. It's going to be tough for him because he doesn't have a degree, and it's in an area that most jobs there require one. My mom, his grandma, keeps saying I should give him a chance, but in giving him a chance it may be hard for me to move him out, especially since he's already been through the eviction process once. I don't want him to rent from me or be around my other tenants. Enough reason right there, not the a-hole. An eviction offense? Hold him to the same standards you would for normal tenants. Secure your investments. You know he won't leave without a fight already. Let him continue to live in his mom's basement. Agreed. This is a business decision, so the situation should be looked at from a business standpoint. If OP's family is so put off, they can buy a house and rent to the nephew at a discount. It really takes some gall to try to dictate to other people what they do with their own property/money. Also, if he is as neck-beardy as OP claims, then it could be a situation where the other two tenants move out to get away from him. So is the family going to step in and make up that loss of income themselves? Doubt it. OP is totally not the a-hole and in the right. Family can get stuffed. Not the a-hole. Don't mix family and business. Further, even if you did like the dude, if mom and aunt were so keen on him getting a discount, they should pay the difference. But even if they offered, still sounds like a no-go. Cause if he's a neckbeard, he is 1, going to drive away your other tenants, and 2, be a pain in the butt to deal with. Maybe the mom and aunt can rent the whole house from you for him to live in, so he has somewhere to live and you don't lose any income. Not stay home. If they're so concerned, he should live with them. Also, thank you. Looking out for your tenants is especially wholesome, even in the face of family backlash. Question, how the hell is he going to fit into a very young, professional, educated crowd? Doesn't get along with women, while women live there. No. Argues about everything. There are people who are going to know more than him and he is going to argue. No. Is your family loony? They think he hasn't found his place in life yet. Christmas? He was yelling at everyone to invest in crypto and calling people stupid who disagreed with him. I'm not going to run to him after this many anti-A responses. I get tunnel vision with my family, but they are making it look like I'm the crazy one in this.